Bondi is actively concealing the names that need to be disclosed. Thomas Massie, a congressman from Kentucky and MIT graduate, held up the document and shouted, "Why are you hiding the names?" Pam Bondi, the former Florida Attorney General and a candidate for the Justice Department, was silenced at the table. Because the document in Massie's hand was Bondi's biggest secret, the names in the Epstein files. 127 names, politicians, business people, media figures, academics. All these names are connected to Epstein. They are all in the FBI records. And Pam Bondi, as the Florida prosecutor, had seen all these names, but chose to keep them hidden and not disclose them to the public. Now, Massie was asking live, "Why are you hiding it?" Watch this video until the end, because in the next few minutes, you'll see how an MIT engineer cornered Bondi with evidence and uncovered the 127-name Epstein list. What happened in Congress today was not just a Q&A session. This would be the moment when names that had been hidden for years would be spoken for the first time. Thomas Massie, 55 years old, Republican congressman from Kentucky, MIT electrical engineering graduate. He doesn't speak emotionally, only with numbers. He expresses everything in numbers. He loves to talk through statistics. Today, he would explain the Epstein files with numbers. 127 names, 5 categories, 19 priorities, 7 active political figures. Each number is a fact. Every number is a secret. Massie was ready to reveal these numbers one by one. Pam Bondi, 60 years old, former Florida prosecutor, served from 2011 to 2019. At that time, the Epstein cases were in Florida. Because Epstein lived in Palm Beach, he was committing his crimes there, and the Florida prosecutor, Pam Bondi, had seen these files. She knew all 127 names, but she hadn't explained any of them. He had said confidentiality. She had said victim protection. But Massie was going to prove today Bondi was protecting the perpetrators, not the victims. It was a little past 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Massie walked up to the podium. He had a thick folder in his hand, blue in color, FBI sealed. Bondi was startled when she saw the file because she knew what it was. Epstein master file. All names, all connections, all the evidence. And Massie was going to reveal that file live on air.
"Miss Bondi," Massie said, his voice normal for now, "I will tell you about the Epstein files. But first, let me ask you a question. As the Florida prosecutor, did you have access to the Epstein files?" Bondi leaned toward the microphone. "Yes, to some files." "Some?" Massie interjected. "To all of them or just some of them?" Bondi answered calmly and carefully. "Within the framework of legal authority to the relevant files." "Yes or no?" Massie repeated. "Did you have access to the Epstein master file?" Bondi did not answer. Massie answered, "Yes." There was. FBI records say, in 2016, the Florida prosecutor was given full access to the Epstein files. Your signature is on the documents. Massie showed the document. FBI access logs. The pages spread across the hall. 2016, March 14, Florida State Attorney's Office, signed by Pam Bondi. Request for access to the Epstein investigation master file. Approved. Full access. Stopped. Full access. So you saw everything, every page, every name, every connection. Is it correct? Massie showed another page, and here are the system records. 2016, March 14, 10:23 a.m. User, Florida Attorney General Bondi. Logged in, from 10:23 to 13:10, 2 hours and 47 minutes, and which pages you opened are written here. He read the list. Page 1, General Summary, 12 minutes. Page 2, Complete Name List, 47 minutes. Page 3, High Priority Names, 34 minutes. Page 4, Connection Map, 28 minutes. Page 5, Evidence Summaries, 46 minutes.
Massie added up. 12 plus 47 plus 34 plus 28 plus 46 equals 167 minutes, equals 2 hours 47 minutes. Every minute is recorded. And on which page for the longest time? Name list, 47 minutes. You read each of the 127 names, one by one. Bondi tried to speak. The files are extensive, all of them detailed. Did you see? Massie interrupted. Just answer yes or no. Bondi swallowed. Yes, I saw it. Massie nodded. Nice. You saw. Now I will ask you what is in those files. Massie opened another page. Epstein Master File. Content Summary. 2016 version. Prepared by the FBI. He read it. Total number of names, 127. These are individuals identified as having direct or indirect connections to Epstein. Category 1, political figures, 23 names. Category 2, business leaders, 47 names. Category 3, media and entertainment, 31 names. Category 4, academia and law, 18 names. Category 5, other, 8 names. Massie added up. 23 plus 47 plus 31 plus 18 plus 8 equals 127. Whole number. And Ms. Bondi, you saw these 127 names, is that correct? Bondi still couldn't answer. Massie continued, it's written in the records. You opened the file. You stayed in the system for 2 hours and 47 minutes. You saw 127 names. Massie opened another page, and of these 127 names, 19 are marked as high priority. So these are the names with the closest connections to Epstein. Do you know these 19 names? Bondi couldn't say anything. Massie, you know, because the FBI records say you spent 34 minutes on the high priority page. You read 19 names. What you read is recorded here. Massie hasn't asked the main question yet. There are 127 names. Bondi saw them all, but instead of disclosing it to the public, she hid it. Now Massie will ask, why are you hiding it?
No one in the hall was making a sound. Massie's voice echoed. Bondi bowed his head. Massie continued, let me tell you why. Because among those 127 names, there are powerful people. There are politically connected people. You wanted to protect them. Massie opened another document again. Here is the evidence. FBI internal memo, June 2016. The Florida prosecutor's request. We are requesting that some names in the Epstein case be kept confidential due to political sensitivity. You have your signature. You requested to have your name hidden from the FBI. Everything is clear and obvious here. Bondi tried to say something. This is a routine procedure. Not routine, Massie shouted. How many of the 127 names did you ask to be kept secret? All of them? Massie answered. All of them. It is written in the FBI note, all names will be kept confidential. All of them. 127 names, due to political sensitivity. Massie leaned forward. Miss Bondi, what does political sensitivity mean? So there are politicians on that list, and you hid their names to protect them. Is that correct? Bondi couldn't answer. Massie continued. And now I will ask you, who are those 23 political figures? Bondi answered, this information is classified. Why is it secret? Massie interrupted the sentence. You did not open an investigation. There is no reason for confidentiality. Tell me, 23 political figures. Who? Bondi remained silent. Massie pulled out another document. Then I will read you the FBI category. 23 political figures, subcategories. At the federal level, 7 names. At the state level, 11 names. At the local level, 5 names. Massie hesitated. 7 names at the federal level. Miss Bondi, who are these 7 names? No word from Bondi. Massie continued. 7 federal political figures connected to Epstein in the FBI file. You chose to hide. If you made it this far in the video, share it with your friends, because look at what Massie put out. 127 names, 23 politicians, 7 federal level. Bondi saw them all, hid them all. She said political sensitivity, but the main question is, who are those 7 federal names?
Massie opened another document. Ms. Bondi, I will show you one more thing. the FBI's 19 high-priority names list, and out of these 19 names, 7 are federal political figures, so the 7 politicians with the closest connections to Epstein. Do you think it's a coincidence? 7 federal politicians, all high priority, all classified. And I will ask you this, is Trump one of those 7 names? Bondi froze in response to this question. Congressman, is there? Massie repeated. 7 federal political figures. Is Trump there? Bondi continued to not answer. Massie shook his head. You are not answering, so you do, because otherwise you would have said no. Massie closed the file. Ms. Bondi, I am an engineer. I work with logic and statistics, and logic says you have hidden 127 names. 23 of them are politicians, 7 of them at the federal level. 7 of them are high priority. Trump is a federal politician, high priority. So Trump is on that list, and you hid it. Bondi stood up. Congressman, this is speculation. Not speculation, Massie shouted. Math. You took 5,000 from Trump. Then you closed the Epstein files. Then you concealed the names. And now you are Trump's nominee for Attorney General. Isn't this a conflict of interest? Bondi slammed the table. I never. Never? Massie interrupted. Then prove it. Reveal the 127 names. Reveal the 7 federal names. Tell us if Trump is on the list. Bondi remained silent. Massie stood up. You can't say it, because if you say it, everything will come to light. Massie said his final words. Ms. Bondi, I have one last question for you. If you were the Attorney General, would you release those 127 names? Bondi answered carefully. These decisions are based on evidence. Yes or no? Massie waited. Will you explain? Bondi replied after a long silence. The names deemed appropriate. All of them, Massie shouted. All 127 names. Will you explain? Bondi bowed his head. She couldn't answer. Massie sat down. We didn't get an answer, so no. 127 names will remain confidential, because Ms. Bondi is keeping the names secret. Bondi couldn't lift her head. The question Massie asked hung in the air. Why are you keeping the names secret? And Bondi couldn't answer, because answering meant confessing everything. 127 names, 23 politicians, 7 federal figures, Trump. It's all secret. They are all being protected, and Bondi was acting as a protector. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because this story doesn't end here. There are 127 names. Massie revealed it. Bondi hid it. And if she becomes Attorney General, those names will remain secret. Why are you keeping it secret? The question remained unanswered. Thomas Massie caught Pam Bondi with the Epstein secret today. 127 names, 5 categories, 23 politicians, 47 business people, 31 media, 18 academia, 8 others. Bondi saw them all in 2016 in 2 hours and 47 minutes. 19 high priority, 34 minutes. Requested concealment from the FBI, political sensitivity. 7 federal politicians. Trump question, no answer. The question of why are you hiding it went unanswered. Massie proved with numbers. Bondi is actively hiding names. He took 5,000, closed the files, and hid the names. And now he wants to be Attorney General. Massie asked, will you disclose the 127 names? Bondi, those deemed appropriate. Massie, all of them. Bondi, silence. The answer is no. Names will remain confidential, because Bondi is hiding it.